So with that, we will pass it on to Bassel to cover off on Middle East.
Yes, for sure, Bhargav. In our today's event, we have the new election of the PM in Europe in the United Kingdom. So the former foreign secretary, which is Liz Truss, was voted to become the next Conservative Party leader and the Prime Minister of the UK. Truss actually defeated former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak in a vote by members of the Conservative Party. She will succeed former PM Boris Johnson, who resigned in July after losing support from members of the Conservative Party. It is also important to note that Liz Truss will become the Conservative Party's fourth Prime Minister in 7 years. So this latest election actually comes amid a wave of labor strikes and protests against the cost of living crisis that all of Europe is undergoing, and also the UK, where inflation has reached around 10.6%. The new PM actually pledged to clamp down on workers' union, which this could potentially worsen the situation between the government and the labor unions, such as the Rail, Maritime and Transport Union, as well as the Unite Union. She also said that she would increase the minimum notice period for strikes between 2 weeks to 4 weeks, which could actually help industries to employ more agency workers in case of recurrent strikes. What's happening in the UK right now. This is all from Europe today. Over to you, Sitati, to cover in Africa.
Well, thank you, Bassel and Bhargav. Today in Africa, the major issues yesterday's protests against the military or the transitional authorities. The protests took place in Conakry in Guinea, with 11 people getting injured. That's after clashes between the protesters and security forces. And this particular clash between the two groups occurred on the Prince Road, which is a common protest site in the capital, Conakry. It's also important to mention that the protest was organized by the National Front for the Defense of the Constitution, which was apparently dissolved by the transitional authorities just last month. And in the coming weeks, it's possible for additional protests to break out, and these protests are likely to be concentrated in the capital, Conakry, because that's where the National Front for the Defense of the Constitution has a higher mobilizing capacity. So apart from the Prince Road, other possible protest sites include the Fidel Castro Highway and the N1 Highway, which could likely be barricaded by the protesters. And so for businesses with operations in Conakry, in Guinea, they need to take into account the possibility of additional protests breaking out or occurring in the coming weeks. And these protests are likely to be violent, judging from the previous ones. And so disruptions could occur to travel, that is road travel, supply chains, as well as business activities. Bassel, I don't know if there's anything else in the Middle East to cover. If not, then Bhargav, back to you.
Okay, with that, it's a wrap from us. Thank you very much for joining us today. You can reach out to us at info@apacassistance.com to know more about our services. Thank you.